Hello everybody, the Martian Lawman here on some Skyrim Special Edition, and what I'll be talking about today, showing you guys today, is a crafting guide. I've come to call it the ultimate crafting guide. You can really make some extremely powerful gear, overpowerful gear, OP stuff with this guide, which I'm reading now actually. And the first thing I'll be talking about with this guide is, of course, the requirements. It does have some pretty demanding requirements. It can take a little bit to get everything that you need to get the most out of this. But of course, I can show you guys the easiest way to do that in other videos. If you want me to, you just gotta let me know on here, my social medias. You know, there's links for those in the bio, or the description, like always. And yeah, this should be a pretty quick, pretty straightforward, hopefully, guide to do this. Is not that hard. The hardest part, like I said, is just getting all the requirements. Anyways, enough with all that. Let's get started. Okay, for the requirements, the first ones I'm going to talk about are the skill requirements and the perks. The first one you need is enchanting up to 100, and you need every single perk except for Soul Squeezer and Soul Siphon. You do not need those. The next is having smithing up to 100, and you need every single perk for this one. Next, you'll need alchemy up to 100, and you need all 5 alchemist perks, the physician perk, and the benefactor perk. You do not need any other alchemist perk. Then last but not least, you need restoration up to level 70, so you can have the necromage perk, which all spells are more effective against undead, and I'll explain why that's important here in a little bit. The next part of the requirements is, of course, the materials. First, I'm going to talk about the different imperial you'll need. You'll need to have a headpiece of any kind, gauntlets or gloves of any kind, I already said headpiece, I guess, necklace of any kind, and rings of any kind. I guess you also need at least 1 chest piece, but you want to have plenty of the other things, but you only need 1 chest piece. And then for the ingredients you'll need to have any ingredients. These 2 are the only ones that won't work for this, Danger Hardened Fire Salt, but the rest of them will. You need to have plenty of ingredients that fortifies smithing and fortifies enchanting. Those are very important. And also the last thing you'll need for materials. Now you get this with the Dragonborn DLC. This helps quite a bit, but you need to have the Azhidal equipment. And you need to have all of it equipped except for the 1 ring. Yeah, there's 2 rings with the stat, but you can only equip 1 ring, so you just equip whatever ring you feel like equipping. And the reason why you want this is because if you look at the boots, it's plus 10 enchanting if you wear any 4 relics of Azhidal. So really you only need to wear 4 relics, but I just wear all of them except for the additional ring that I can't wear. And that's all the materials you need and all the skills that you need. But the last thing that you need, now this is where the necromage perk comes into play. You need to be a vampire. And the reason why you need to be a vampire is because the necromage perk does affect your character too, because your character is technically undead. And any enchantments and potions that you drink all count as magic. So those are increased quite a bit by being vampire. So that vampire is going to increase things tremendously. Now, as you can see, my character is not a vampire, and the reason why I did that is because I want to show you guys how well this stuff is improved without vampirism, and then I'm going to have a second part of the video showing you how good it can be with vampirism, so you can see the immense difference with them. Anyway, so that's about that. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is, obviously, you want to equip the Azhidal set, which I have equipped right now. And you want to make sure also, I should have said this earlier, but you need to have plenty of grand soul gems. So I'll just go ahead and grab all mine. And I'd like to do this in one of the player homes that you can make. I'm using the Lakeview Manor home just out of Falkirk, and I don't have anybody here, and I like doing I like making this my crafting home, and I like making it where nobody's here at all. So I'm not bothered by anybody, nobody's in my way. I just come here and I do my crafting and I go to another home for any of that social nonsense. But you want to find an arcane enchanter, and you want to go to your different gear, and you want to make one of each of them except for the chest piece. You want to leave the chest piece alone for now. But all the other pieces, the headpiece, the ring, the necklace, and the gloves, you want to make one of each with fortify alchemy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Oops. Suppose I need a soul gem, that'll help some. I already did a headpiece. Let's do a necklace. And the ring. So now after you did all that, you want to go ahead and equip them. Creative potions are 25% more powerful. It'll be higher if you chose, whoops. It'll be higher if you're a vampire than 25%. I think it's like 27 or something like that. The enchanting part of this is not the big thing that is affected by the vampirism, it's the smithing part, and you'll see that with that second part of the video. That's where things improve tremendously. But after you're equipped all that stuff, you want to go ahead, make yourself a fortify enchanting potion. I got plenty of these, I'll just go ahead and actually, there we go. Now I got a potion of fortify enchanting. You only need to make one. That should be good. Now when you do the second part, of course you want to go and re-equip all the Azhidal stuff again. Now when you do the second part, you got to do it kind of quickly because you don't have a lot of time, because fortify enchanting only affects for 30 seconds, and that sounds like plenty of time, but if you are a little slow, you can miss that time, and you can not take the full advantage of this. So I'm going to go ahead and drink it, and then I'm going to try to make everything as fast as I can. Headpiece, alchemy, gloves, necklace, and the ring. So now we'll just go ahead and take a look at it to compare. Now you can see it went from 25% to 28%. And you want to keep doing this step over and over until eventually that goes up to 31%. Now in this chest here, I have my set that's up to 31%. As you can see. Now when it's at 31%, it's not going to go any higher. So once you hit that 31%, that's where you want to be. So when you're wearing, I'll go ahead and equip them all. Let me make sure that worked right. Yep. So now I got my 31% stuff equipped. So yeah, you just want to do that step over and over until you get 31%. When you do have the 31%, you want to wear it. And then you want to make as many of these potions as you can. So basically you're gonna, item chance are 15% stronger, that's not right. Sometimes if you equipped it out of the chest like that, I'm just going to go ahead and re-equip everything, but sometimes when you equip stuff out of a chest like that, it doesn't give you the full effect like it should. Now it should be working. See, now it's at 34%, which is the highest I'm going to be able to get it as a non-vampire, but as a vampire you can get that up to 38%. So let's go ahead and make all those. And then after you make all those, you also want to make your fortified smithing potions. Now, as you can see, that's a big number. If it's 143% as a vampire, but it's going to be 134% as a non-vampire. And that big number is the reason why being a vampire makes a huge difference, as you will see soon. Go ahead and make as many of those as I can. Now that those are all made, what you want to do is you want to find a chest and go ahead and put that stuff away so you remember where it's at, so it stays separate from everything else. It should be this chest for me. That should be all of it, okay? And then you're going to go and equip your Azhidal stuff. Now, since you have the best potion for enchanting you can make, you can do one of two things. Right now, you can go ahead and enchant all your gear to the enchantments you want. Or you could just skip that and do that after you improve with smithing. Since you're already here, you might as well put all your enchantments you want onto your gear. That doesn't matter, you can do that whenever. But the thing you do need to do right now is make one last set of equipment that fortifies smithing. Which is going to be the same stuff except for, I know it's a chest piece, but I think the head piece does not work for fortified smithing. Or maybe it's the gloves. Oh, there it is. Which right now, that's going to be 25%. But again, if you're a vampire, that'll be up to 31% as well. Just made the gloves. There's a chest piece. Yep, the head piece you cannot make with this. So it's pretty much the same thing as the enchantment, except it's chest piece instead of head piece. That should be all of it, right? Already did the gloves. Look at that, I don't have a ring or a necklace. That sucks. But I'll show you my equipment instead. Since it's not too much different. And now I'm going to go to the basement with my new gear. This is where I have mine. Like I said, everything's 31% if you're a vampire. So I'll go ahead and equip that. I'll have to re-equip it, because like I said, if you equipped it out of the inventory like that, it won't apply the bonus for some reason. Oops. Okay. So now that that stuff's equipped, let me go ahead and grab everything out of these chests here. Which is a lot, obviously. So we're going to find something to improve. I just realized I probably don't have anything in my... Yep, I do have something actually. Now with this armor, before I drink the potion, that brings it up from 12 to 47. That's a pretty good jump. But it'll probably be more like 40, 42 or something like that if I use a 25% instead of the 31%. But now I'm going to go ahead and drink one of those potions. 134% improvement. Now that'll bring it all the way up to 85. And that's pretty strong for an iron dagger. That'll do some decent damage for something that's intended to be so weak. Now we'll go ahead and go over to the workbench over here. I'll drink another one just to make sure I drink it. Let's see if I have anything to improve. Apparently I do not. As you can see, those are all big numbers. Those are the numbers that you'll see when you're a vampire. It'll be roughly close to half of that if you're not a vampire. But you want to go ahead and improve everything you improve, enchant everything as you enchant with all your newly made gear and your potions and everything like that. And I'll show you my potions I got in here. That's the 153%. I said 143% earlier, but it's actually 153%, I guess, if you're a vampire, which is quite a bit better than your 134%. So not only was your potion going to be a lot higher, but when you drink it, that 153% is going to be increased by quite a bit, giving you a really strong gear. So yeah, that's pretty much the The tutorial is not that hard. It doesn't take that long. The longest part, like I said, is the getting the requirements and everything like that. But you can still make some good gear without being a vampire, but you definitely want to be a vampire. That's where the best gear is. So let me go ahead and get that second part of the video loaded up in here for you guys, so you guys can see how much stronger your gear can be with the vampire. Okay, so I'm here with the second part of the video showing you guys how much stronger things can be using while being a vampire. My character is a vampire in this video, and you'll see how incredibly powerful everything gets made. This is an earlier video I did, so I went and improved everything. Just look at how big the jump is. I mean, it's tremendous. It's ridiculous is what it is. I mean, you can make usually some rather weak gear into incredibly powerful gear, making playing this game on legendary extremely easy. Now, I wasn't able to show you any of the armor improvements, but I will in this video, this part here. So I got plenty of it. I'm pretty much improving everything that I got in my adventures, as I never did that yet. And just look at those numbers. And some of them were already improved with the potions, with the non-vampirism part. But now my character's a vampire, increasing them quite a bit more. So like I said, you can make some very powerful, very OP gear using this method. And I really hope that this method has helped you guys out to make the best gear possible. And if you have other ways that are better than this, definitely let me know. I'd love to hear it. And I'm always open to hear about that stuff. If you guys have any suggestions for future videos you guys want me to make or want to see me do, definitely let me know on YouTube, social medias, or whatever. Check the links in my bio or description of the video. Also, drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Comment your thoughts. Subscribing to my account helps me out tremendously too, so I always appreciate when you guys do that. And yeah, so that's about it. Thanks for watching. You guys have a wonderful rest of the day.